Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Beautiful day outside. Gorgeous weather. Just beautiful. I love it. I love when it's nice like it is right now. Beautiful weather. It's not too hot, not too cold. Was even able to take mom outside and sit in the sunshine for a little bit, and she enjoyed it, watching Snickers play, and we just had a nice little talk and drinking our coffee and enjoying the outdoors. Um, Today's going to be a good day. We're going to talk about different things that have been going on in my life and how I'm trying to improve on my life. Listening to a lot of well-read, well-known therapists. One of my favorite that I love to listen to, and he has taught me so much. And I started with him on um, his book, The Angry Therapist. Don't fuck up your life. And I love it. He is so I mean, he just brought it right here. Now I'm trying to bring all of this into here to where um, any bad feelings I'm having up here, I can bring them into me and turn them into good. So that's what I've been doing. So I want to talk to you a little bit about, what took place after my youngest was born. Love corn, my favorite. But I have to be very careful with them. They will go right to the belly. But anyway, okay. So my youngest one was born. At that time, we had a. See, he was born. Middle one was about 7 at that time. No, he was 6. And I believe my daughter was 14. And she just loved him to pieces. He loved her. I know I put a lot of responsibility on her of helping me with him. We were our bedrooms were all on the second floor. So whenever dad was at work and she was home from school, she would have to help me by carrying the baby upstairs and carrying the baby downstairs until I got my strength back in my legs and in the rest of my body. Also, Grandma Betty came to visit, and Aunt Phyllis. They visited us in Wilmer, Minnesota, and just loved the baby to pieces. As did I. I just love him to pieces. Um, I hope he knows that. He's not home right now, but that's okay. Uh, he was a good baby. Never cried much, unless he was hungry or had a dirty diaper. He didn't just cry. None of my kids were just criers. They always had a reason for crying, and I always took care of that reason. If their diapers were dirty, I always changed them, kept them clean, never diaper rashed, kept them fed. Bo was a good eater. Oh my, did he eat? Kept him full. He was my one and only breastfed baby. Uh, My daughter, I wanted to breastfeed her, but because I had a C-section, my doctor said, you can't. You can't breastfeed if you had a C-section. So, okay, they dried me up. So I didn't get to breastfeed her, but I got to breastfeed Bo. And that was so enjoyable, so good for both of us. And he was a good baby. I loved him to pieces. He would get up only once during the night, usually around 2 o'clock. I'd get up and go upstairs and feed him and kept him good and healthy. Yes, I did. I love that little fella. I love him to pieces. I love Tara. Oh my God. I love my daughter. I love Keith. I wish he was closer, but I know he's not, and I know why he's not. And I'm proud of what he's done with his life. Proud of all my children. They've all done well. They've taken care of themselves. Bo still needs to take care of himself, but we're working together on that because his father really abused him to the point that I worry about my youngest son because his mental state is not good. I know my counselor is going to try to get us a family counselor to where I can get him some help. So, fingers crossed on that. Um, those were the early years. We lived in Minnesota. Um, Beautiful state. We had fun. Kids enjoyed the outdoors. I won't say they enjoyed the neighbors. I know um, the boys had um, kids they could play with that were nearby. My daughter was not so lucky to have a neighbor nearby, but she enjoyed the swimming. Um, Martin was a swim coach, and she enjoyed swimming. Keith enjoyed swimming. Bo was too little. He could only play on the tot dock. Yeah, they had a tot dock. It was funny. But anyway, they had fun. They enjoyed as much as they could. And then when see that was we moved there in 88 or 87, and then in 91 we moved to Royal Oak. Maybe it was 90. I think it was 90. We moved to Royal Oak, Michigan. Um, Lived nearby the in-laws, which was nice. That's when I found out I was diabetic, and um, we found a diabetic doctor. Bo was doing good. He was big for his age. Bo's always been on the high side, over 100 percentile in his height and weight and his abilities. But when we got to Michigan, they seemed to think he was slow, that he was a special child, that he was Down syndrome. I advised him he is not. He's just a normal boy. Well, I probably should have gone to the pediatrician and talked to them about Bo's motor skills, his psychological skills. Maybe we would have found out that he was autistic or ADHD or whatever. But maybe he wouldn't be in shape he's in right now if I had taken him to a doctor. But hindsight's 2020, and we can't do anything about that now. We can move forward and help him move forward. But anyway, on to our lives. Both started kindergarten in Michigan, in Royal Oak. Our last full year in Royal Oak, I was working at Consumer Pulse. I worked at nights, and Tara would watch the kids at night and the nights that I worked, Tara would fix dinner and help with the kids. I didn't expect her to watch the kids because she had her homework to do. She had her stuff she needed to do. She didn't need to be the chief cook and bottle washer. She just needed to do the cooking, and then once Dad was home, he would be able to take care of the kids, clean up after dinner, and let Tara be Tara and do her thing, do her schoolwork, do what she needed to do. And then I remember one night, and Bo remembers this probably more than any of us remember it. I can't remember whether I had gone out with a bunch of girls or was just late from work. I don't know. But anyway, I had a key to the house. He locked the front door, the storm door. Nobody had a key to that. I couldn't get in. I banged on the door, knocked on the windows, ran around to the back to see if I could get in. Now, he wouldn't let me in. Why? Because I was late and I didn't call him and let him know I was going to be late. Let's see, at that point I was 38 years old. Think I knew how to take care of myself. Don't think I needed to have a caretaker watch over me and tell me when I had to be home and when I had to be in that front door. But he seemed to think I did. Finally, he let me in, and we got into a big old fight. Bo says he cannot believe I did not leave that night. Call the cops and tell him that he'd locked me out, away from my children. But I didn't. I wanted to keep peace. It made me angry, but I loved him. Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know. It just is what it is. I did. And I stayed. There was an incident in Minnesota when Bo was a baby, and we were supposed to go to the airport to pick up Grandma and Grandpa because they wanted to come see the baby. I wanted to go to the airport too. I was tired of being stuck in the house. I'd been stuck in the house for days on end. I needed out. I was going stir crazy, but I couldn't leave. I couldn't go. He grabbed a ketchup bottle off the kitchen table and threw it at the wall, at me. Unfortunately, we only had one vehicle, and his vehicle was on his way to the airport. If I'd had a vehicle, I would have taken Bo and left. I would have driven west to Wyoming, away from him. But I only had one vehicle. I'd calmed down by the time he got home. Why I calmed down, I don't know. I shouldn't have. I should have stayed upset, pissed off at him. Then we, as always, we make up. And then after the incident in Detroit, Uh, we made up. We then moved to Virginia, where there were lots of fights, lots of disagreements. Number one, I didn't want to be there. None of the kids wanted to be there. We were only going to be there for a year. I didn't see why it was necessary for all of us to up and leave just to have to go back. It doesn't make sense. But we sold our house in Royal Oak. Tara was doing good in school. She would have been fine. Wouldn't have been any problems. Things would have been different if he had just been able to go to DC by himself, come home once a month, visit, see us. But see, he didn't want to do that because that's what his parents did. His mother raised three boys and a girl by herself 9 months out of the year while her husband was off working. He was a merchant marine, so he was out on a ship. He was the engineer on a big ship. And he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to put me through that. I'm like, I'm fine. I got me a job. I'm home during the day. When the kids are in school, I can be working. When Tara's home, she can take care of the kids. I can work at night. There were ways to make it work, but he didn't want to do it. We all had to pack up and go to Virginia. Poor Bo. His kindergarten teacher wanted to hold him back. Probably should have. But the reasoning that they wanted to hold him back just really pissed me off. They wanted to hold him back because he was 5 days past their cutoff date. Well, I got a hold of a senator and we got that fixed. So he got to stay in school. But they kept picking at him. He's too slow. He's too this. He's too that. He's too dark. He was into Batman. Batman was big then. Batman and turtles. Turtles are in caves. Batman's in a cave. What's the big deal? It is what it is. But we stayed there for a year, and then we moved back to Michigan. Went to Rochester Hills. I went to work at Staples as a customer service employee. Wound up being a manager. That job lasted 2 years. Then we moved to Des Moines, Iowa in 94. I got me a job working as a lunch lady at the Urbandale High School Central Kitchen. Had a blast. Loved my job. Oh my gosh. It was such a fun job. I made pizza for the kids. And of course, everybody loves a pizza lady because they all like pizza. Always made them their favorites. I always knew who wanted what. I'd see kids in line and I'd have their pizzas ready for them. I love working with kids. They were fun. And I looked forward to my two boys coming up through the high school and watching my kids come through to eat lunch. Well, I got to see Keith do that a time or two. But after a while, he'd had enough of his father and decided he wanted to go back and live with his mother. Can't blame him. Um, Keith wanted to play tuba, wanted to play a musical instrument. Of course, he picked tuba. But Martin wanted him to play football. All the boys had to play football. So Keith went out for football. He got a position as a quarterback. Oh, and Martin was just, oh, yes, 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 yes. He's going to have a quarterback that's going to go to Dallas. He's going to be a Dallas quarterback. Be real, mister. Be real. You have children. You let your children be what they want to be, not what you want to be. They're children. He needed to get his head out of his ass. I kept telling him that. He's not good enough to be a quarterback for Dallas Cowboys. He's barely good enough to be a quarterback for Urbandale High School. You think he's going to go elsewhere? Go to college to play football? No. Okay, so Bo's playing flag football. He hates it. He doesn't want to play. He'd rather play baseball. But as far as his father is concerned, if you ain't going to play football, you're not going to play anything. And he was told that if he doesn't play football, he has to throw away all of his sports equipment. That includes bicycles, rollerblades, baseball bat, baseball glove, all of it gone. Throw it away. So what does Bo decide? I can't throw it all away. I'll play football. As much as he hated it. He, bless his heart, he hated running. Oh, I don't blame him. He's in the 5th grade, weighs 200 pounds. Yeah, who's going to want to run, right? Well, I knew he had to at least put forth an effort. So I would go up to the high school track with him, and we started off walking the track. Then I'm not a runner either, but I'll give it a try because I want my son to succeed. So I would run the track with him. I would let him get ahead of me. I would make sure he got ahead of me because I wanted him to think he was doing good, whether he was or not. But I knew if I had him running faster than me, he would have confidence that he could do it and he could pass that presidential fitness test. And he did. But it was hard work for him. And his dad would put him on the treadmill. I would be upstairs cooking dinner. And I would hear him swat him with a belt while he's running on the treadmill. Why didn't I call the police? Why didn't I call somebody on him? I so wanted the marriage to work. I wanted my kids happy. But I see all I was doing was adding to their pain and suffering. I didn't make them happy. I ruined them. I ruined my children. Now I have to try to make it better at 70. My daughter doesn't talk to me much like she used to. Keith, never. I don't blame him. I loved him as if he were my own son. But I didn't save him from Martin. I didn't protect him. I didn't protect any of my children. I should have. I should have protected my kids. Well, while we were in Urbandale, on days that was off, he decided that he would get on the computer because he found out there were places where you could find guys that like to have sex outside of a marriage. Not anything I wanted, but it was something that he felt that we needed because he was beginning to have erectile dysfunction and his little peenie weenie was not working. So he would invite guys over and we would have sex. Let me close the door. And yeah, don't make me go Beth Dutton on you. But yeah, he would invite guys over for me to fuck or suck, have sex with, whatever. And then afterwards, he and I would have intercourse, make love, whatever you want to call it. Right now, I just call it intercourse because there was no love whatsoever in any of the activities he and I did from that moment forward. It was just sex. And it wasn't good sex in either shape, form, fashion. Me doing it with the other guys or me doing it with him. It was just like, okay, just like two rabbits. Just keep on going, keep on doing. That started at about 1995, 96. And I told him I didn't want to do it forever. And he says, once it stops working, we'll stop. Okay. I was okay with that. I could deal with that because we all know eventually it's gonna stop working. And it did. But he would threaten me taking everything away from me that I have. He's already thrown away half of the stuff I came into the marriage with. He's already thrown it away. And I wasn't going to lose anything else of me. I wasn't going to let him throw anything else away. So I stuck with it. I had got so beat down by being ridiculed over my weight, over how my hair looked, over anything. He would find a way to make me feel this big and not this big. This big. Made me feel like crap. Made me feel like I was dirt under my shoes. Nobody should feel that way. And that went on till we left Iowa. Then we moved to Maryland. This was going to be Bo's last school. And he was in the 10th grade. And I thought, okay, this is going to be a new start for us. It's going to be a new start for him. Things weren't working out real well sexually with the husband and I. And we had been talking about just cutting it off, not doing anything with it. It's not working. We'll just, do the best we can with what we have. And we'll just love each other. That's what I wanted. Just to be a part of each other's lives, love each other, take care of each other, and be a happy family. That's what I needed. That's what I wanted. That's what he said we would have. But that didn't happen. Once I got a job, found a job, he decided he needed more because I wasn't always there. So he decided that he would have people meet me at the house as soon as I got home. There would be somebody waiting with his sticking out. How does a man do that to a woman? And still think anything of himself? Think he has any self-worth? He has no self-worth because I had no self-worth. How could he have anything? He was nothing but a pimp and a pimple on my ass. And so, it kept going, we kept doing. And I really thought that when Bo would go off to college, that it would stop because we would be too busy going to his football games to mess with any of it. But oh no, that didn't happen like that. It kept on happening. It kept on happening. It kept on happening. It kept on happening. He wound up getting guys there with money to pay me to meet them in a hotel room and do it. One guy wanted to meet me every Friday night. I said no. I put a stop to it. I said I can't do that. And I kept wanting to stop. He wouldn't let me stop. I wanted to stop. I needed to stop. I needed to stop. My body didn't like it. I didn't like it. I will post some pictures of what I looked like when I was doing that. I was over 200 pounds. 5'4", over 200 pounds. Bo graduated, went to work as a fitness instructor. I went to work out where he was working. I lost some weight, but not enough, not enough. But he still wanted me to fuck. He wanted me to go to the gym to find guys to fuck, to have sex with. I didn't do that. I couldn't do that. No, not at all. He wanted me even to find guys at work that I could do. Well, I pretended I did. Oh boy, did I pretend I did. You know what ranch dressing kind of looks like in your mouth? Mm-hmm. Exactly. I would show him pictures of ranch dressing in my mouth, and he thought I was sucking somebody off at work. Yep. Yep. I did a lot of that. And then when mom was evicted from her house by my sister, I used those same techniques because he wanted me to do guys down here in Oklahoma and Texas. And in fact, when we finally did move to Texas, get into Texas, he would still be in Maryland and he would find guys online and send them to me, not let me know about it. They'd just knock at the door. And I'd have to try to explain this to my 90-year-old mother at the time of why these men were coming into my house and I was taking them into a bedroom. Mm-hmm. And all she could say was, they better be paying you. I say, what? Out of my 90-year-old mother, they better be paying me? She said I meant that sarcastically. At the time, I couldn't take it sarcastically. I took it dead serious because at that point of my life, somebody told me something, I took it dead serious. I didn't take it as sarcasm. I didn't take it as a joke. I'd lost my funny bone. I had. And so this went on. I kept trying to put a stop to it. This went on for 7 years in Texas. And I kept trying to put a stop to it. 2 weeks before this next incident, we had sat and talked, and we had decided that we were going to get a divorce. And we were going to end it all in it and get a divorce. I was going to stop doing, he was going to stop sending guys to me, and I was going to stop doing them. I was going to be free of this life. Well, here comes the OU Texas game. October the 8th, 2022. We were working, getting the fence cleaned because we were going to stain the fence the next day. And he was trying to show me how to do it. Well, I was being pig-headed, I guess, and I couldn't figure it out. Couldn't figure out how to work the power hose. And we got into a big fight and had to go inside because his blood sugars were dropping. So we go inside. I fix him a glass of grape juice and getting ready to fix him a sandwich. And I gave him the glass of grape juice. I didn't want a big glass. I wanted a little glass. Excuse me. And I told him, drink what you want. You don't have to drink all of it. Just drink what you want until you feel better. So I go in to fix his sandwich, and he comes in to check on. I was doing some gonna make chimichangas, and I was doing some uh, pulled beef, and I was gonna pull the beef while I was working on his sandwich. He comes in there. I have the bologna and cheese and bread and everything on the counter. He comes in and swipes it off the counter and says, "You can't fix anything right." You won't fix my sandwich right either. I said, yeah, I will. I know how to fix your bologna cheese sandwich. Been making it for you for 38 years. No, you haven't done anything wrong. He starts doing this to me. And I get his hands away from me. He slaps me, knocks my glasses off, knocks my phone out of my hand as I'm trying to dial 911. Then he gets his hands around my neck. And I can't breathe. He is choking me to the point that I pee my pants. I black out and peed my pants. Mom hollers, "Stop acting like children!" And he lets go. And I drop down. I get to the ground, pick up my phone and my glasses. I run to the bathroom to go to the bathroom. He comes chasing after me. I jump over the bed, a king-size bed, run into Mom's bedroom, close her door, used her phone, called 911, and the police came. I stayed in the bedroom. Martin hollers comes banging on the door, hollering, "If the police show up, we're done." And I hollered back at him, "We were already done when you hit me." And it was done. I'm done. When he hit me, I said, "I'm done. I can't take any more of this. I'm done with you." And so we sat there and we waited until the police came. I went out to the front room when they called my name, and I went out there, and an officer came in, and I told him my side of the story. Martin told him his. And then the next thing I see is they're walking him out with handcuffs on. Handcuffs. Never saw, never again, never again. Never will I deal with him again. So I go to the emergency room because my left hand is turning blue and black and blue. This finger's broken, hand's broken down in here. Mom and I go to the emergency room because I can't leave her home alone. I'm not going to leave her home alone, especially after what she just saw and experienced. It was such a traumatic day. I will never forget October the 8th. I hope to forget October the 8th, 2022, other than, oh, you beat Texas. Yes, we did. We beat Texas, as always, as we always should. But it has been such an ordeal. As some of you know, I'd been married before, and I always got out of those marriages lickety-split, easy, and got back to myself. This is harder to get back to myself. I'm feeling closer to me than I did 2 years ago, but I know I still have a little ways to go. It's getting better. It's not going to get any worse. That's the good thing, is it will never get worse. I still have ear problems and jaw problems from him hitting me. But, it'll eventually go away. It'll get better or whatever, who knows. But it's this that I'm needing to get better, and this. My heart is happy. My heart has been happy for 2 years because I'm away from the pain, the agony, and the despair. The despair was just unbelievable. I would try to be positive all the time. I always have been a positive person, but he made me a negative person. He made me a negative person, and I don't like it. I don't like the negative me. I like the positive me. I was fun loving. I always had fun. I always had friends. I have nobody around me now. I have no friends. My bestest friend of ever, Carlene, has passed. Another one, Gayla, has passed. All my good, dear friends that I felt I could tell anything to are away. They're gone. They've gone to God. They're in heaven. I know it, and I know I'll see them one day soon. I will. Not too soon, but I will see them. Oh, that hurts. That hurts so bad. We're going to get some rain. I know it. But this has been this felt good, getting all this off my chest. And moving forward, we'll talk about how I move forward, how I make improvements in my life, and how you can make improvements in yours. We all have stories. You may have a story similar to mine. You may have a story different than mine. But we all have a story. And we should all share our stories because somebody will learn from our stories. I hope somebody has learned from my story and will continue to learn from my story and how to be a better person. That's my goal, is to be a better person for all of you and for everybody in the world. Peace, love to all.